pushes out. Can it get over the top of Anderson?
Over
Tracks all the way back in. It does. And he's locked in, but what a goal!
Inundated. So popular.
I would be.
Welcome to Grand Final Day, AMNA Championships 2019, and it's coming to you live from the Casey Stadium here in Melbourne, Victoria. This is one of the big ones. It's the mixed open final. We're about to have the presentations of the two teams and the lineups announced to us. So we'll stop talking for a bit and you can enjoy the festivities. So the presentations have been done. The teams introduced to the crowd. The national anthem's been played. We'll go quickly through the lineups. Michael Solomon is at GS for Queensland. Alorna Nakatokura is the goal attack. The wing attack, Rihanna Roberts. Billy Mayer, the centre. Laura Platt, the wing defence. Jess Ritchie, GD. Ben Upcroft is a keeper. For New South Wales, a fairly expected lineup. Brad Houghton is the Joel shooter. Emily Moore, the GA. Anika Marcosi, she is the wing attack. Nathan Sheeran, the centre. Alicia Parrott is the wing defence. Emily Nesbitt is the GD, and Ben Hamer is the goalkeeper. My name's Dave Mills. I'm joined in commentary by Sonic superstar, legend, captain, and 5-time MVP winner of the Open Men's Division, Guy King. Guy, we are in for one hell of a game.
Yeah, look, I'm hoping it's got a little bit more intensity in it than the last time we both commentated this match in the last round of the competition for the mixed. I'm sure New South Wales will come out with a point to prove, and Queensland looking to go undefeated for the tournament and go back-to-back champions. So
the umpires for this match, Amy Winchcombe, she will, I think, on the far side. Jason Sincock will be closest to camera, and Lisa Harm is the reserve. A little bit of play acting there from the two centres from New South Wales and Queensland. I hope they take the game a little more seriously.
I think they forget that they toss, not just it's up to whoever's in the
rock,
centre.
paper, scissors. So these teams have played 3 times before in this tournament. Round 1, Queensland 51-28. Round 2, Queensland 52-31. Then they had the qualifying final to see who goes straight into the GF, and Queensland took that one 57-39. You and I commentated that. Pretty ordinary game for the 3 quarters. Something happened at 3-quarter time. New South Wales came out and actually had a run at them and could have possibly won it.
Yeah, look, and I think Queensland just started a stepping call under the post there by Solomon. You don't see that very often from the big fella. But yeah, I think New South Wales kind of were playing a bit of mind games in that game. They knew it was a bit of a dead rubber and just probably decided to have a bit of a crack in that last quarter and get a bit of confidence going into finals.
Absolutely. So Queensland went straight through. New South Wales had to do it the hard way. They had to play a preliminary final last night, which they did against Western Australia, who were playing in their first ever preliminary final. New South Wales came away 49-37, and probably the scoreline doesn't reflect how close that game was.
Yeah, I didn't get to see it myself, but from all reports, it was a good game, and Emily Moore just out of court there as she fumbled the centre pass. But yeah, sometimes it is hard to go all the way through that prelim final, and we probably saw that in the last game in the 23s. New South Wales came out guns blaring and then really looked like they fatigued poorly in the last 3 quarters, going down, losing the last 3 quarters by 20 goals.
Similarly, in the reserves final, which I did this morning, New South Wales out of the blocks, amazing, 11-4 up, led at half-time by 1. Unfortunately, second half of 31-10 meant they lost that game by a considerable margin. So we're away here. Queensland get their second through Solomon. No, he misses, but he gets the rebound. So what are the keys for this game, you feel?
Look, I think it'll be how much work New South Wales can do out in front of Solomon. I like their choice of Nathan Sheeran in centre to try to get some good hands over the ball and try and win the ball back before it gets down to Solomon. We know from experience once it gets onto circle edge, he's hard to beat. I also just think down in the New South Wales attack end, it will really depend on how clinical they can be. We've seen a few of their games, they've been forced into making some silly errors and uncharacteristic poor execution. So, yeah, if they can have a consistent game down there in attack, then they could put themselves in a good position to win.
So 3-2 to Queensland, early stages first quarter. For me, it's the combination between Houghton and Moore. They don't mind to pass off to each other, and Houghton doesn't like to shoot outside of half a foot from the ring. So if those two can get there, well, Moore's going to have a shot this time, and she's got a great shot, so we probably need to see more of that, but their chemistry will be the key for New South Wales' offensive end, I believe.
Yeah, look, it will be, and I think once New South Wales in their previous encounter against them in the last round match that we commentated, we did see that combination started to get into gear, so I think a lot rides on that.
So don't forget, we're on all the socials, particularly Facebook, where this game is streaming live to Facebook. Drop us a comment. We love seeing people from all over the world tell us about how much they're watching this and loving the coverage. Don't forget the Super Suncorp netball starts today, but we're better than that, I believe. And the big one at 1 o'clock today, Queensland versus New South Wales in the Open Men's game. join Heath Brown, Michael Hutchinson and Dan Cook for commentary of that one. That will be a corker.
It will be. Looking forward to that game. I'll get to sit down and watch it without having to do any commentary, which will be nice.
Absolutely.
Save the vocals.
Thankfully, I get to do the roster. I took myself off that one because I'll be screaming my guts out as well. My boys, the Mighty Maroons. Been lucky enough to coach them over a number of years, and we haven't won one since 4 years ago. I think was the last one we won in Sydney, and the boys are looking good. So get your backside courtside if you're in the area. If not, stay to the live stream. Our broadcast partners, of course, is mysportlive.tv. We thank them for their support, as do we do Game Clothing, who are our major sponsors.
And Queensland have just taken a little edge in this first quarter here in the first 5 minutes. They've just scored off a New South Wales error and looking to convert off their centre pass, which will take the lead out to 3 if they can find the big fella under the post, which they do.
We haven't actually talked about your prediction.
Look, I think Queensland are going to be hard to beat today. I think they've got a strong team to begin with and have got plenty of personnel on the bench that have proved during the week that they can step on court and really not have any changes. And I think that might be where it's won or lost. So even if there are some issues, they've got some depth to go to.
Well, this team's been undefeated. They're going for the 2 from 2, the repeat, and I'm predicting them to win by a fair margin. I think this game could blow out. I think if Queensland get a lead early, New South Wales might think, here we go again, and I'm tipping Queensland by 30.
Yeah, look, New South Wales don't necessarily have to be leading in the first quarter or, be winning by too much. They just need to be in touch. They've proven that when they haven't been in touch in the first quarter, then it's been really hard for them to get themselves back into the game, and that's when Queensland get their tail up and run away with it.
So, Solomon, you called him the big fella. He certainly is. Did you ever find out what a wide receiver or linebacker does?
No, but I did find out the name of the national team. They're called the Outbacks.
Excellent.
So, yeah, we had a bit of a chat about that after the game that I commentated.
Cool.
And, yeah, still haven't really found out too much about the rules of the game.
I'm not going to even try.
No.
So, for the viewers at home, Michael Solomon is in the Australian gridiron side. I'm not sure whom they play, but if you've seen his physique, you'd understand why he plays in that. So, early stages, Queensland 7-4. We've played just on 7. So drop us a line. Many of our ADF people from around the world, Paul Fornio and a few others, are commenting. So good to hear and glad you're with us. So we've got some people from Perth. One of the former Queensland managers in Lisa Ferg. She's enjoying the coverage as well. So Queensland force a turnover. Laura Platt, an absolute athlete in this Queensland side. The long pass over. We were talking about the other night. The big pass, the outlet pass from one side of the court to the other seemed to be a feature this tournament.
Yeah, it does, particularly on their long court. Nice timing then just to pop into the back space and finishes off with a nice goal. New South Wales, or Queensland, sorry, have just got the last couple of turnovers against New South Wales. Just off the back of some really good defensive pressure, some great hands over by all players out there on court, and it's just forced New South Wales into a couple of errors, but they're working hard to get it back here.
How good was that?
Yeah, that great running your feet to the ball.
Yeah, Parrott there gets the turnover and saved by Hamer. So, absolute amazing effort. New South got a chance to pull one back. So,
oh, I thought that ball could have been let go just a little bit earlier. Then he had the space back there, did Houghton.
Houghton taking the ball over Upcroft, no easy task. So that one back for New South, 8-5. Queensland disappointed there. So great viewership. We had another 60,000 yesterday.
Oh, great.
That's unique IP addresses too. That's not just clicks. So thanks for all the support. So we're ticking up well over 200,000 views at this stage.
So that Houghton and Sharon combination is just starting to come into play here. They've probably played quite a lot of netball together, both in the full court version of the game and also in the indoor nets version over the years.
Don't mention the indoor word.
Sorry.
Mentioned last year, got in trouble. So Emily Moore being a little bit quiet in this game. It's more sort of going through Houghton's being fed by Sharon. So once she gets involved, we'll add another string to the bow. Great effort there by Upcroft.
And there's that hands over pressure out in the front by Platt. Just force the ball just to come off her hands, and then that set the ball up for Upcroft to get the clean intercept.
So working hard in the circle there. Mikey Selim holding the space, gets it now. A big split there. 10-6 Queensland, just on 10 gone.
Strong drive.
Yeah, she's an incredible athlete. She features in all the game clothing ads, our sponsors, usually picking up heavy things, putting them back down. So she's certainly a great athlete. And Alona Notokorua, she's a perfect fall for Solomon.
Yeah, and she just drove really strongly along the goal line then. And you could see New South Wales goalkeeper Hamer was in doubt. He started to go to cover her, but was like, oh, if I leave this, the big fella opens up under the post. And either way, one of them ended up getting the ball.
So, bit of a lull, more passes off.
Needed that goal to stay in touch, did New South Wales. They didn't want this lead to creep out to too much early. And great defensive pressure coming from Makosi.
So she's working hard. Maya, far side, another big outlet pass. Great drive by Platt to the top of the transverse. Looks in, finds Maya. Will they look in for the big man? Be mad if they didn't, but then got a contact call inside, then to the big man. It's a simple game of netball at the moment, isn't it?
Yeah, it is, and a held ball. Maybe just taking a bit of too much time to come back from the big split.
So
Sizing up to the post, so it probably just needs to adjust that, maybe just turn a little bit quicker.
Houghton a long way from home, kicks it out. Moore gets involved. Oh, obstruction. Upcroft nearly. Do you think Chris Newman would match up better on Houghton than Upcroft?
Look, I must say, after watching that that game that we commentated in the last round, I was very impressed with Chris Newman's ability to read the ball and come off and intercept. Having said that, though, it's probably a hard decision from Coach Dave Smith, because he's got Upcroft there, who did start in the grand final last year and was very effective. So, look, if they need to make a change, they can make a change.
Absolutely. So, of course, Queensland going for back-to-back championships today. Only joined the mixed comp in 2009. Took a while to win one, but with a bit of luck, if you're a Maroon supporter, you'll have two today, of which I am.
It's actually nice to sit back and not have the pressure of a Victorian team in this final. I can just enjoy the netball and call it as I see it.
So, Queensland men's team are watching back at the hotel. They'll be here shortly, getting ready for their big match from 1. Gary Passion and the boys looking magnificent. So, turnover there to Queensland. This is a chance for New South here. They could tie it up before we go to the break. 12-10 currently. So, in previous matches, Queensland have pulled away early and then just sort of maintained the lead. This is not the start they're looking for.
That was a really great change-up by the New South Wales attack, and then we had a bit of a positional switch with Houghton coming out higher the circle with Moore coming in, and maybe just exposing that speed and agility and height advantage that she has against the Queensland goal defence Ritchie. So maybe look to exploit that a little bit.
And
again.
Moore starting to come into her own. Houghton and Sharon got a great understanding. Even that little pass there, Upcroft out of play, making it hard for Ritchie. She has a crack. And if Houghton gets this, which he does, no he doesn't. Oh, spoke too soon. That would have made it 12 each.
I must say, I already had jotted it down as a goal.
Yeah, get the liquid paper out. So, do people still use liquid paper?
I just did a big cross.
So Platt again on the fly, finds Roberts. And Mayer looking in. No, goes back to Roberts. So Hamer doing a pretty good job on Solomon, but that is hard to stop. Nesbitt did her best.
And
Not
really
to
smart with
Cordova.
it because she runs so close to Solomon. He's a big body that if that screen is there, you're never going to be able to get around that.
We've got a break here from Queensland. It's Roberts. Coach Killer's this. Dave Smith. Usually we can tell what he's thinking by the looks on his face. Not too perturbed, but I probably think he might have thought it'd be a little more than 2 at the break.
Yeah, but we would have thought hopefully they can start well like they have all week. But New South Wales, I mean, they did get down to 4 at one stage and have fought back well into this contest.
So body's going everywhere. That's Mayer on the floor. Wants the tea towel to mop it up. So out comes the Queensland trainer. Excellent job. Sharing with it. We're inside the last minute.
Plenty of backspace here for that lob.
46 seconds to go. And Houghton gets another one. We'll have all the shooting stats after the break. So
He's currently going 8 from 9. Emily Moore's on 3 from 3. And down the other end we have Solomon on 8 from 10. And 4 from 4.
So we'll get him before the break. Guy Keane, all over it. So contact there by Upcroft. So with 15 seconds to go.
Just really smart there by Houghton and Moore. Big Upcroft was out of play and just...
It's Queensland centre. We've got 7 seconds. They're going to have to go fast. They've got to look in, and there it comes to Solomon. It's not to him at all. It's gone wide and out. And a disappointing end to the Queenslanders. They led by 4 with not long to go. We're all tied up at 13, and it's now the New South Wales Waratahs centre when we come back. Guy Keane, a quick comment before we go to commercial?
Yeah, look, great fight back by New South Wales, and they'll take a bit of confidence out of that because they haven't really shown too much of that against Queensland this week. So, yeah, great fight back from New South Wales, and it's Queensland's turn to respond.
Should be a great second quarter. Join us after these messages.
Sally is your local netball administrator. She receives daily messages from her umpires on her phone and Facebook. Mary just messaged, and Craig, Sam and Jane. Struggling with managing umpire rosters like Sally? The Time Umpire software allows you to take control with ease. Check out timeumpire.com.au.
Welcome back to the greatest day of the year, the 2019 AMNA Championships Grand Final Day. It's a day that gets the goosebumps tingling, the hairs on the back of your neck stand up. We're here, my name's Dave Mills, I'm with Guy Keane. We're here at a mixed open game, the grand final between Queensland and New South Wales. Queensland have dominated all week, going for a back-to-back championship. Guy, 13 all, are you surprised by the scoreline?
Look, a little bit surprised. Just based on what we've seen throughout the week by Queensland, they've been so dominant and strong throughout just about every quarter they've played. But really excited because we wanted a good game, and I think we've got it at the moment. So yeah, looking forward to the next quarter.
Well, you might have wanted a good game. I wanted a blowout, but Queensland got out to 4. New South Wales just through good pressure and defence, forced a few errors, and then of course excellent work in the circle, got the game back to even.
Yeah, that's right. And both teams have been pretty good with their turnover ball in terms of maintaining possession. Just taking a couple of little stats here on the side is that whenever a team makes an error, the other team seems to be able to go down and score off that turnover. So Queensland are currently running 4 from 4 from positive gains, and New South Wales are running a 5 from 5. So you've got to maintain possession in a final.
Keeping you up to date with all the stats. That's Guy Keane. He's got a sheet a mile long with writing stuff down, and we're trying to make the coverage as good as we can for you. The umpires for this one, Amy Winchcombe on the far side. Jason Sincock on this side, closer to the camera, and Lisa Harmon's reserve. Ball in readiness, second quarter underway. And Nathan Shearers gets us away. Upcroft with the intercept straight away to Mayer. So back to Upcroft. They're looking good now. Queensland just seem to have a different energy all of a sudden. We haven't been told of any changes. I can't see any. Can you, Guy? Seems to be as programmed.
It doesn't look to be any changes at the moment.
So don't forget, we're on all the socials. So drop us a line. You can watch us through Facebook. So Chris Carroll, Sonics legend prior to your era, is watching right now. So welcome, Chris. So I'd love to see him here.
He was here the other day.
He did.
Yeah, popped in to say hello. He didn't recognise a lot of the people that were here.
No.
A lot has changed. Well, a lot of people have come and gone.
One of the greats, Chris Carroll. So Queensland with the first of the second quarter. So Queensland have amazing depth. Dave Smith says all the time we're 13 deep. So big unit, Mikey anchoring himself there. Hamer's done a pretty good job on Solomon.
Yeah, he has. He's just, look, he's just really taken the space really well, and that was much better cover from that front sweep. And you can see Solomon trying to set that screen.
So he got caught for a hell ball earlier, so he's a bit more rushed on that one.
Yeah, you can see. And that's a good adjustment from him.
Yeah. So New South Wales down by 2, haven't scored yet in the second. We're tied up at 13 all at the break. Richie's looking to pounce. Tip by Mayer, using an amazing elevation. He flicks it back straight to Sheeran, though, who hits Houghton. Probably wish he hadn't. And Houghton has the easiest of goals. So Mayer with the flick between the legs. Probably didn't need to do that, but geez, it looked good.
Yeah, that's probably one of those disappointing ones where you just go, ugh, now I'm deflated a little bit because I did all that hard work and went back to my opponent. Easy goal.
Nakatoro is struggling to get the shot up. It's a very tight circle at present. She draws a foul. She's got a lovely technique and hits the front of the ring on cue for Solomon to finish. I really should stop talking. I'm out here, brother. You're right. So,
it's that jinx. I didn't think it was a thing until I actually started doing
I
some
know,
commentary.
Right? Neither did I. So, oh dear, I've cost Queensland so many games.
Nice cut back by Moore just to open up that back space. And really smart from Houghton just to let that ball trickle back closer to the post.
It's experience. You can't teach that sort of experience. Houghton there. So many of the Queensland legends watching. So we've got the indoor boys watching. Angela Clare's watching. So looking good. Former players in this team and all wanting them to do well. So Mikey Solomon. So he's taken the majority of the shots in this game.
Yeah, he has. He's currently sitting on 4 from 4 at the moment. That's to be expected. It's probably played out like that the whole week.
It's a classic mixed play, isn't it? Give it to the big guy.
Yeah, that's right.
So
I don't want to jinx it, so I don't really want to say it, but we've got to talk. We can't just sit here in silence. But currently, only the one error in this quarter. So it's great to see some really good, patient, controlled netball. Low error rate, it's just what you want to see in a big grand final.
it's a quality game. So I must admit, I did think there'd be a blowout, and it really hasn't come into fruition.
Great first ball pressure there by Parrott.
She saved the equipment as well, so we thank her for that.
Probably a bit of a surprise not to see Bedingfield in there at wing defence. So maybe she's really earned that position, and she's probably come out and shown that.
Well, this is the third game I've done of New South Wales mixed team, and I have barely seen her play. So yeah, Bedingfield is a quality player. Maybe Tommy Patelli's been playing Ducks and Drakes with us.
Yeah, maybe.
He said he only had to beat Queensland once, and today could be the day. So, and another good shot there.
Again, Solomon just setting that screen at the sort of midway point of that goal circle, just allowing that front sweep to happen. The New South Wales defenders have really got to try to shut that down.
So, Chris Newman, do you think he'll come on? Kind of has to, in my opinion. He was exceptional in the games we commentated the other night.
Oh, and a hell ball there, so it's a tough one again. Maybe now the New South Wales turn to adjust to that timing down here.
Seemed a little quick, as did Solomon's, but got to give the the umpire, credit. Absolutely consistent.
Yeah, exactly. That's all you ask for the umpires, is that they're consistent, and that way you know what you're going to get.
That's Jason Sincock closest to the camera. Two quickish sort of 3-second calls, but identical, so the players will appreciate that. Umpiring's been amazing this week, in my opinion.
Yeah, it has, and they've got a massive workload as well. Some of them are doing, 2-3 games a day. And as an umpire, you run just as much as probably, a centre does in the game of netball. So their bodies will be starting to feel it as well. But they've done a great job all week.
Well, we're talking about just interesting stat. We had Joel Owens in here yesterday for a game, and we just wanted to get a bit of insight into umpiring. Great work there by Upcroft. And he just said that the average umpire is currently doing 28,000 steps a day for 2 games.
Yeah.
That's a lot of distance.
It is.
So,
it really is.
and something I would not have ever even considered. But 28,000 steps in 2 games of netball is phenomenal.
Yeah.
So, Emily Moore kicks it back to Sheeran. Nice triangle. Houghton's down. He's not up yet.
Slow to
Taking a
get
while.
up.
He's off the court at the moment. Moore, she'll have to take this, and does.
Great
And
shot under pressure.
She's one of the sweetest shooters you'll see. We've called time not because of Houghton, because the ball has gone out. He's grasping both his knees. Must have copped a knock. Upcroft is fairly solid. So
He's still down in back play, and they've
that
maybe just hedging a little bit, saying, "Oh, I'm injured. Don't worry about me."
that was a ginger sort of take, though. So, but I believe the Queensland boys are nearly here for the big game at 1. Junior Levy gives us a shout out. So they are looking mighty fine. 1 p.m. This channel, don't go anywhere. Michael Hutchison, Heath Brown, and Dan Cook bringing you that one. So Solomon. So just solid netball all round, both teams. The margin, they got the early turnover, Queensland. They made it 2. It stayed 2 for the best part of 6 minutes now.
Yeah, look, really high quality game. Low error rate, what we discussed about before, and both teams really valuing their ball in attack. Doing some nice, strong work.
Cozzy on the circle. Yeah, it's been an impressive game.
Yeah, and maybe it's a sign that maybe the defensive pressure needs to just maybe lift a little bit from both teams. Yeah. As we say that, Upcroft gets a bit of a tip on that rebound.
Oh, and a contact there. Great crack call. Houghton, third chance, gives it to Moore. Doesn't want to take that third chance.
Ugh.
She misses as well. Oh, Upcroft unfortunately bats it to Marcosi, heavily strapped on her right shoulder.
And it's just got a little bit messy down here in the New South Wales attack end. So
Platt and Mayer switch. Now they switch back. Billy Mayer, amazing elevation, nearly had that cleaned. So you're right, this little passage of play is a bit scrappy.
maybe just need to get a bit more balance in the court. They all seem very congested and close together. And that's where New South Wales have been damaging in this game, is when they've used their space and the channel's a little bit better.
Contact on Houghton there. Didn't see it myself. Maybe brought the ball up. Do you think that's what it was?
I think that was what the call was, that he brought the ball into the defender's hand. We don't like to make poor comments against the umpiring, but I think that in the context of this game is a tough call.
We've watched Houghton a few times, and he pretty much does that on every play.
Yeah.
So he actually tries to draw the foul. So pass off there to Solomon. Let's see if Queensland can make him hurt. They do. So the biggest margin for a while, it's 3 to Queensland. Chance to make it 4. That was the biggest lead in the first quarter. Platt there getting ridden by Marcosi. So Richie. Queensland, no movement yet on their bench. Probably a bit early with 6:13 to go.
And that was a good open up into the non-ball side then. Just opened up the space and created a nice angle into that feed for Solomon.
So a lovely shot there. The Open Men's Grand Final, don't forget, New South Wales, Queensland from 1.
Need to have somebody coming back to this ball here. It's just become a bit stationary down here in the New South Wales attack end.
So Sheeran, great drive. Mayer all over him. Platt, Marcosi. It's a great matchup, that one.
Yeah, there's some good matchups all over the court. I'm loving the Sharon-Mayer battle as well.
Upcroft call for the contact. Smith not happy with that call, the coach. I see Davin Hunt's made his way to the bench. He's the 23s coach for Queensland. Helping Dave out with a bit of advice.
Just in the secondary bench there.
Just behind, he'll be in his ear. You should do this, Dave. So, great pass in there. That was a classic pass. And Solomon, as he does so often, does not miss.
And it's a good take by Solomon. He's not known for his great agility, being a big guy, but
It's a unit.
he often does like the ball just to be placed just above him, but had to actually really move his feet to get to that ball, so it was good.
Of course, Solomon currently in the Australian mixed team, hoping to maintain his position that at the awards night tonight. So you heading to the awards night, Guy?
No, I'm not this year. Just nice quiet night in. It's been a big week.
It has, yeah.
I wasn't planning on being here this much, but I've actually enjoyed stepping into the commentary. It's been
We love it.
a bit of fun.
You've brought an amazing insight to the commentary that we don't normally get, but someone who's just recently out of the Victorian side, you've been able to give us an insight as to what players are thinking, and more particularly the coach of Victoria. It's been great. So, pass off to Solomon again. And makes no mistake. The margin is 4. It's the biggest lead Queensland had. So if they get a few more, they'd be happy coming into the break. So Platt gets the intercept. It was thrown straight to her. It was an easy one at least. So Mayer, can they make them pay the Queenslanders? The Suns, as they're known. And a great drive there by Natakoroa. And she gets another E.
That's when they're dangerous, when they can use that front sweep to either draw a defender off Solomon or otherwise get that ball themselves.
So it's a 12-7 quarter at this stage to Queensland. And another passing off. And just Hamer starting to attract a little bit of whistle. So, and this is the moment. Queensland, they've cleared the bench. Smith realises it and he's yelling at his troops to increase the effort in this last 3.
Yeah, this is when you need New South Wales here just to make sure that they are nice and controlled down here. They've got a strong option to the ball because they don't want this lead to get out to 7. And
brilliant play. It's a throw in to Queen. No, he's missed it. Oh, he's saying he was out when he flicked it back. It was brilliant there by Upcroft. He's having a bit to say. Got to watch that. How'd you see that guy? It looked like he flicked it back onto the foot.
Look, we had a perfect angle for this one, and unfortunately the umpire was probably just caught on the wrong side to be able to see that come off Houghton's knee. But netball karma maybe just forced that error in there.
I always say the ball knows. The ball knows. So margin of 6. Queensland with it. Late stages, first half. A wayward pass by Roberts. We haven't called her much. She's had a quietish game. Good work by Parrott on her. Alicia Parrott, late inclusion in the New South Wales squad. So chance to go to 7. They miss it.
Oh, I don't think I've ever seen Solomon this high up into the centre third.
He comes down to have a chat to us. So, I don't think he goes that far on holidays. So, but
probably doesn't run that much in the warm-up.
Probably not. So,
let that ball go.
Oh, he should have. That one went. Upcroft gets a hand in. Queensland turnover again. They've won the last few minutes of this half, Guy.
Yeah, they have, and it's just come off the back of New South Wales maybe just being a little bit hesitant down in their attack end with both their movement and their ball delivery. But I also feel like it's been coming a little bit. Platt and Richie have really been applying some great pressure along with Billy Mayer out in front. So I feel like they've just been building to force New South Wales into a couple of these errors.
So, yes, they have, and Queensland have a chance to... Oh, Hamer.
Just timed that really well, getting up and swatting that ball away.
Yeah, got it on their way up.
And an offside call from Roberts.
Roberts was a major factor in last year's final. Came on at halftime at GA and really fed Solomon well. So you'd remember that final, wouldn't you, Guy?
No, I've blanked that out of my memory.
Right. No, I was just checking. Of course, Guy was player coach of that one. A missed shot there from Houghton. Looks like Upcroft's in his head at the moment. So maybe we won't see Chris Newman come on.
He just seems Brad Houghton at the moment. Just after he took that bit of a tumble, he just doesn't seem himself sensed that. So
He was very slow to get up, wasn't he?
Yeah, so whether he's just maybe carrying a little bit there. After a few back and forth, Queensland secure that break.
So Solomon with the ball. Another one. Oh, he misses, but he gets his own boards.
He knew he had to rush back for that one because they're being quick on the held balls, and he did have a big split, but managed to get his own rebound just before the halftime break.
Well, a great last period. Last 4 minutes of that quarter will belong to Queensland, and they've increased their margin from even at halftime to 28-20. Guy Crean, a quick comment before we go to the break?
Yeah, look, and it did come off the back of just a few errors from the New South Wales down in their attack end through good defensive pressure, and just surged in that last sort of 4-5 minutes, so take the lead out to 8.
15-7 quarter gets Queensland in front, and we will see what happens in the second half when we come back with these messages.
Sally is your local netball administrator. She receives daily messages from her umpires on her phone and Facebook. Mary just messaged, and Craig, Sam and Jane.